No corporate investors, no out-of-state bosses, just honest roofing done right. If your roof needs repair or replacement, call the company that answers to you. That's the Bergen difference. Truly your neighborhood roofer. Call Bergen today, 798-ROOF. That's 798-ROOF.
Life without change is what it brings. Suck it from clouds and take a stand. Got control of the steady.
Yeah. Bring down our friend Dangerous Doug Kendall just a little bit. And his former band Down Count. So glad every time, every show. I mean, really every show, unless I'm filling in for the afternoon drive and the music is more canned or I have less freedom because of how the computador de los point is a little bit strange. But yeah, every time I hear Dangerous Doug Kendall, I reminisce of many hours on the radio and what a great singer, songwriter, and now author of 2 books is. So, last time I saw Dangerous Doug in person was at the Barnes and Noble on Garner's Ferry. He's doing a book signing, and I already had a book. So I was able to walk in my pre-purchased book and get him to sign. Telephone number here is 803-799-8255-799-TALK on the Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline. President Trump, the Orange Man, Orange General Sal. That's right, the General Sal of China, the spicy orange chicken guy, goes to our, depends on your point of view, maybe mortal enemies in the Far East, and evidently did a good job and let our Chinese friends know that their interests are in stopping Iran. Their interests are in opening the Strait of Hormuz. Their interests are largely aligned with the interest of the United States. And even though we know the backstory that there is an evil empire out there, sometimes we make arguments whether or not it's us or if it's somebody else. But yeah, we can pretty much accept that there is a somewhat evil empire out there. And there are people that can make the case that it's us. But I think a great many new understandings were forged on this diplomatic trip, and that is wonderful. But yeah, one of the things President Obama, dear sainted President Obama, until we get to the bottom of the 2020 election hoax, dear sainted President Obama told President Trump in their one-on-one that he was going to have a war with North Korea, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which I mean, you could see that as a eventuality. And Trump said, well, have you called it? And President Obama said, the guy's a dictator, right? He can't be seen doing stuff with dictators and things like that. And so in the first couple of weeks of the new Trump administration, an extended hand was reached out to the Norks, and they had a meeting and had a big public meeting in the DMZ, and the world changed. And sometimes that's all it takes. But you cannot be a shrinking violet and be on the world stage. You cannot. I don't know if you remember the guy's name. I'll think of him in a second. But there used to be a 50s Brooklyn. I guess it was I don't know what you'd call them, a greaser gang and band called Sha Na Na. And the guy with the deepest voice and the sort of penultimate guy in the band was his name was Bowser. It might have been Bowserman or something like that. He was Bowser. And that's what we used to call President Obama, because he would travel around the world and he would bow to anybody. He bowed to I think it was a female supervisor. It's like city supervisor of like San Francisco or something. He would bow to anybody. But in the larger world, in the way things are, and this is horrible. I mean, but we are basically fancy animals. I think that's reasonable to say that we are basically. Oh, we got a. Yep, that's right. We got a. We've got we're basically fancy animals. So when we say, oh, a nuance and this, and we have to be delicate and effete, like Emmanuel Macron, the rest of the world doesn't work that way. That's not a metric that the rest of the world cares about. And the places where we are most likely to have problems are frequently the places with the most coarse and most hyper-violent folks. And sometimes you have to match that energy. So we get some hippie lingo in there. But we've already got a call on, so we're going to pop this up, and we're going to say, hey, caller, how are you? Hey, what's going on there, Tim, leader of democracy?
Got it.
So did you enjoy the stuff that came out of China?
Well, it depends.
How about this? Did you feel that the
think-
United States was well represented with the team that rode on Air Force One to China?
No.
All right, who would you have put on that trip that wasn't on that trip?
First of all, it's supposed to be a trip. By the way, Dr. Gene, it's called diplomacy.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's all about running around the world, smashing heads and acting like Rocky. But anyways, also a bunch of the oligarchs, man, and that's a bad sign. I didn't see anybody represent. I didn't see anybody on board that ship represent the little man. You know,
Okay.
the working man.
How about on the Chinese side? Was there anybody that you know of that the American delegation met with who was for the little man in China, rural China?
What?
All right. Hold on, Tim. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. First segment in the can. Second segment starts in a moment. We've got our friend Tim on the line. 803-799-8255.
When you've served the Midlands for more than 80 years, you're obviously doing something right. Groucho's Deli has 8 Midlands locations and for decades holds the title of best sandwich, best salad, best sweet tea, best fast lunch, best bang for your buck, best deli. Well, you get the idea. Order online at Grouchos.com and on the Grouchos app for fast, convenient, and friendly pickup. And sign up for the Grouchos Rewards and Birthday Brownie Club.
Lots of plumbing companies out there. Few are truly local. Time to discover the difference with Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. See, when I faced plumbing woes at the Cohen home, Josh and his dedicated team, well, they were my go-to solution. They make a commitment to exceptional service. They arrived on time, clearly detailed all the costs and procedures, and efficiently handled all my repairs without any surprises. These days, how often do we complain about a lack of customer service out there? With Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, these folks are professional. They're courteous. They're skilled at what they do, and they've earned my trust and they've earned my recommendation to you. From urgent repairs to the tankless water heater you've always wanted, they've got you covered. Visit franklinplumbing.sc.com or call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. Hey, you tell them Kev sent you from The Point. Pretty sure you'll want to thank me later.
You can count on hot summers in the Midlands.
You can count on those South Carolina roads biting.
And when you end up with a broken windshield, you can certainly count on Absolute Glass.
With one phone call, we can repair, replace, and recalibrate your car's windshield.
We'll handle the insurance calls, and for most folks, it won't cost you a dime to let us fix your windshield.
Absolute Glass has been voted Lexington's best for 15 years straight.
So call Absolute Glass at 951-7200.
Or find us online at absoluteglassinc.com.
And remember,
if you can see through it, we can do it.
So we're back, and we've got our friend there, Tim. We'll bring Tim up and bring the music down. Thanks for holding on, Tim.
Yeah, no problem.
So what
Like I was
would you,
saying,
if Tim was king of America, but had to work within the confines of the traditional role of the American president, what would Tim have done differently?
I'm gonna grab somebody like the head of the like the cattle some farmer, some guy on the ground
Like the American Cattlemen Institute, or something like that, or the beef board for the nationwide beef board,
Yeah.
or something.
yeah, exactly, but someone someone a little bit lower than that. Somebody has enough technical know-how to know what to negotiate or what to comment on, but not
Now, do
someone
we have
in
any
corporate.
beef stuff with China? Are they a big beef producer?
Well, there might have to be since we just screwed up the other source beef we had, So, anyways, I'll think use that for example. Could be other things, give it China, other products,
Mm-hmm.
oil, stuff like that, whatever, back and
Well,
forth.
I think the benefit to China is really, and it's a horrible thing, is their slave labor. In the same way that in the 1980s, Japan can't necessarily feed itself. Japan can't necessarily provide its own energy. Japan can't necessarily do a lot of stuff, but they have a rock star skilled labor. They have rock star skilled labor, and they're able to make great things and export those all over the world. So when you look at China, you think of China as a nation state. Other than their slave labor, what do you think they got?
Resources.
Okay. Well, I mean, they are a big country. I mean, they're not as big as the Russian Federation, but they are really big.
Okay. Well, tell me this. Why would somebody like why would Mark Zuckerberg be there and Kevin and Larry, the gang, people like
Well,
that.
Kevin O'Leary is a master class investor. That's what he does. He invests in stuff. So to open up an Asian market for something that's already part of O'Leary's portfolio, or to expand into China and help them develop things, that would be good. Of course, Zuckerberg is robotic evil incarnate. So there's no telling what he could do. Is said, hey, I'll tell you a secret. This is how you can control your people. Oh, you didn't even think about this. Oh, well, you can do this. This is how you can make it work. That. I have I don't have a problem with Kevin O'Leary, except he's not an American; he's a Canadian. But other than that, I think. Well, he's not a member of our country. So does he also hoodwink and bamboozle the Americans? Maybe that's why he went to teach the Chinese how to hoodwink and bamboozle the Americans. Yeah, well, goodness, how about this? I know absolutely he was born in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he got a lot of money, and I'm sure he can get a jump start up on top of the line of be a citizen of America.
Well, he would definitely be one of the kinds we would want. So if I were to characterize Kevin O'Leary's business model compared to Willard Mitt Romney's business model. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, but both of them, both guys have issues.
Well, right. They both have issues, but Romney was a vulture. He was a vulture capitalist, and O'Leary is a venture capitalist where he looks for the next big idea and then exchanges his expertise and cash for a way to get a position in the new thing. So I think I would much rather encounter 10,000 Kevin O'Learys than have to deal with one Willard Mitt Romney.
I mean, so to pass up this, for example, even this local race we got coming up here. I mean, there are no honorable people at all in the race at all, pretty much on the Republican side.
No, give me an example of a bad one.
All of them. Wilson.
Which Wilson?
Norman.
Okay.
So we're both bad, but the son that's winning right now, I believe it's the son, right?
No, both of them. Joe and Allen are both running. One for the Congress and the other one for governor.
Well, how can he be I'm running for an attorney general, right? He's running for attorney general?
No, he is attorney general. He's running for governor.
Well,
and this, I believe if he wanted to be I'm looking up the Kevin O'Leary thing. If he wanted to be attorney general for life, I think it would be hard to deny him. Alan Wilson. He is. He's got problems, but we all do. So. Oh, here we go. Kevin O'Leary is not American. He's Canadian, born and raised there, and does not hold U.S. citizenship. And his real name, how you like this? His real name is Terrence Thomas Kevin O'Leary. He would like you to call him Mr. Wonderful, though. No, maybe on the American delegation, we should have more Americans.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, man. Too many capitalists and too many people not loyal to the country, and just too many right people in our government, man. But Alan Wilson is running his campaign. He's a criminal, a felon.
What? Alan Wilson?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. He is a top law enforcement officer in our state right now. I wouldn't slander or defame him if I have disagreements with him, but not. No. So you can see how regular people could misunderstand that without intentionally misunderstanding.
Well, just run the tape. But anyway, also he had a meeting with that guy named that kid that shooting in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah. The Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, there you go.
I think Kyle just got married. I think he just got married. I really do. I think he just got married. He married some just amazingly smoking hot girl. So, maybe that's why he did it all. Yeah. What did a jury of his peers say about him? I think they said the two magic words: not guilty. Yeah, well, that's and look at all the great stuff that OJ was able to do afterwards, and sometimes what happens in Vegas actually does stay in Vegas. But how about this? I have a theory. I'll give you this theory, and this is a name. I think his name is Christian. I think so. OJ had a son, and I think his name was Christian. I think it might have been the son that actually committed the crime, and that OJ, and on one hand, OJ was one of the most beloved secondary career people, somebody that was a crazy, amazing football star that crossed into popular culture and acting and everything like that. But I think he might have actually been the bigger man by taking the mantle of all this stuff around his shoulders, basically to spare his son.
Yeah, I thought for
Yeah, well, that's if it was your kid, how about this? How about this, Tim? If it was your kid and you knew that you did not do it, and you suspected or knew your son did it, if you allow yourself to be pilloried, you didn't do it. So there's you would say, well, what kind of physical evidence was there? Oh, there was a bloody glove. Oh, okay. What was there a DNA match inside the glove? Don't think we know that answer. I don't think we know the answer there, but and it would have markers for OJ and for the son. So that's sort of interesting. That was a really sort of a strange time in our history.
I think he did all for his son.
Yeah, I think the more I reflect on it, the more I think that was a possibility, and also from Lance Ito to Marsha Clark, and who was the other one? There was another prosecutor person, Mark Furman. These people are garbage people. I mean, you could not have found some more unsympathetic people. All right, well, give me the quick rundown before I let you go about what was right in China and what was wrong.
Well, actually,
I think I think you're largely right, maybe with Taiwan, but because we have a problem with Taiwan, and that is, I'm sorry. Well, no, the position of the United States government for 50 years that Taiwan is a republic of China. Thanks so much, Tim. We're going to jump to our next one, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, and fireplaces. Spring sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The mayor of Austin, Texas, says suspects are being sought in at least 10 random weekend shootings in Austin, Texas, including at fire stations that left 4 people injured. The city ordered residents of a large part of southern Austin to shelter in place while the investigation continues. Mayor Kirk Watson said during a brief news conference that the people involved are changing cars. Thousands of people have streamed into the National Mall in Washington for a day-long prayer rally. The event Sunday is billed as a rededication of our country as one nation under God. Several speakers celebrated Christianity's ties to American history. The rally was broadcast live over the Salem Radio Network. More details at srnnews.com.
Jay with the Cigar Militia. When I stop by a cigar store, I always look for my go-to cigars and stock up a few of those, but I also look for something I've never tried before. Well, at the Cigar Militia, we specialize in a lot of small boutique cigar manufacturers. Come in and try a Don Kiki by Karen Berger or a Makaji by Ty Williams. We are the Cigar Militia at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard. Help us out, stock up, and review some of our boutique brands.
Hi, y'all. This is Sal from Grow Your Garden with Sal. Let's get your garden started. Now is the time. We've got locally grown South Carolina certified plants grown organically right here in Columbia at a great price. Check out our selection of veggie plants, including hard-to-find tomatoes, peppers, squash, zucchini, and more. We have all your seeds, too, and quality soil to help you get it started. We're at 113 Hilltop Drive in Columbia, and visit growyourgardenwithsal.com.
You're listening to Gene Garris on the radio.
It's a
All right, so we're coming back and going right to the phones and saying, "Hey, caller, how are you?"
Hey, Dr. Gene, happy Sunday.
Hey, what's going on there? Profesor de los Ciencias.
Oh, I mean, it's May 17th, 2026, and still no forever war as predicted back in December by Tim. No forever war in Venezuela, so, maybe tomorrow, though. Maybe. You never know.
Maybe.
It
Could be.
We're only 5 minutes to his prediction.
Quagmire. Now, I have, I think
Quagmire.
we should run a list of things. We could say Quagmire, and what other things we do? We got the, and then now we can say floating pool, and what else did he want to do that they just went crazy? Renaming the Kennedy Center. Oh, what a horrible thing! Gulf of America.
Yeah.
And I just love it. And the crazy thing is, and you and I know some of these same people. It's the same cadre of folks on the Book of Faces, and they go apoplectic. It doesn't matter what he does, and that's the funny part.
Yeah. I think this person seriously wakes up every morning and says, okay, what am I supposed to be mad about today? And then they'll go on and rant on Facebook about it and everything. And you just mentioned the ballroom. It reminded me of one a few weeks ago. They had this article about, they showed a picture of, oh my gosh, who was it? It was Lady Di and
not Elton John,
American,
but no, it was Lady Diana and John Travolta. They did a little dance.
Yeah.
During the Reagan White House
article
movie.
Said, they said, see, look, there's a ballroom. We already have a ballroom, but he just tore it down. And it's like I say, so many kind of scene, I put stuff this person shares and others, and I go, that doesn't even pass the sniff test. So it took me like 10 seconds to find, oh, that was just the, I think it was like the entrance to some room or some part
it's
of the
like
White
the
House.
East Room or something. Yeah. It's a small reception room.
Right. So, I mean, it's just, the latest one they shared was, and I don't know what state this was in, but apparently I want to say like 17 tombstones in an African American cemetery were vandalized with Trump, or I forget the other. Oh, DeSantis. This was in Florida.
Okay.
And DeSantis, of course, a lot of them were misspelled. And it reminds me, Dean, of I think it was like 15 or 16. It was during the election, during Trump's first of 3 terms. But someone spray painted "Vote Trump" on a black shirt and burned it down, only to find out it was actually self-induced. It was a member
one of the
church that did
parishioners,
it.
one of the parishioners. And
Right.
and this is a
And-
true thing.
and he-
I grew up in property insurance, and I used to have these discussions with my dad, and he would tell me the truth because there's no reason for him not to tell me the truth. And he said, what the number one quality about a house of worship that burns is? And I'm like, no, I'm a little kid. I don't know what is it? What is the greatest determining thing? And he goes, if the church is solvent, it's impossible to burn it to the ground. If the church has got enough money to pay all its bills, it's impossible. Because in his experience, every time that's happened, whether it was one of our insureds or one of their friends that had it, there was insolvency, and the economic need is what drove the likelihood of fire.
Yeah. So, and like I pointed out to this person, if this turned out to be yet another one of those incidents, it's like there was a football player one time. I forget, the guy that played for Michael Irvin, played for Dallas, and he was accused of something. And he said basically, and I don't know if he was found innocent of whatever he was being accused of, but he said, make sure that you make the apology bigger than the accusation. In other words, you're yelling about what I did wrong, and when you find out I didn't do it, you better yell louder. But we always know, Dean, when they come out with the truth, it's always kind of buried and kind of hushed.
Section C16, and it's smaller than 3 postage stamps.
Yeah, Tim reminded me of something too with the great Kyle Rittenhouse that was here in Columbia. I remember when that happened.
Yeah, they went to Maurice's on Elmwood.
Yeah, so the Kyle Rittenhouse cocktail, it's the chaser followed by 3 shots.
Oh man, and well, here's the thing that's amazing to me. He gets brained in the head by a guy with a skateboard, and he's still able to get the shot off. And and I have friends of mine that shoot IDPA, and that's with barricades, and they move around barricades and they score all these points, and things, and that he would have the presence of mind that after getting brained by a skateboard, that he was able to take the shot, or the medic guy, the Grosskreutz guy with the medic thing who pointed a gun at his face and he blew his bicep apart.
Right.
The amount of control, no innocent person got hit. And these people were, child molester, home break-in person, wife beater. It's almost
stole my thunder, because I was going to say, Gene, people like Tim they think Kyle Rittenhouse is a awful person, and look at the people he went after. But it's no surprise, Gene, they're the ones that are okay with these kind of people coming across the border.
Right, because
there are no borders, Gene. Come across.
Hey,
we don't care what you
man,
do.
You can't hug a tree with nuclear arms, man. No, nobody's illegal on stolen land, man. Yeah. Nobody.
Called Third Philly up in Pennsylvania, and they're one of these. Called I'm trying to blank the Nick Curley.
Wow, citizen kind of journalist.
And they were at some rally for some politician up there, and he was saying I should be allowed to go across the barricade to do some filming or talking, whatever. And the guy said, "No, you're not allowed here." He said, "Well, I'm a reporter," and the guy said, "Well, you have any ID?" And so Frankie's like, "Oh, so now you believe in IDs? You think we should have IDs?" With also the great Caitlin Bennett. Did you see the video with her and a friend? They infiltrated a rally, a liberal rally. I don't know which one of the many they do.
Well, they do so much stuff. Recently, she has dyed her hair black. So was it the black-haired version, or was it the? Okay, all right.
Yeah. They were saying something like, "We are Cole Allen," and getting people to say, "Yes, we are Cole Allen. We are all Cole Allen." And they have on videos, Gene. They have on videos. They would go up to people and they would talk about things. For example, someone said, "Yeah, I'm really a trans man, and you wouldn't know it because my parents, luckily, my parents are very progressive, and they did it at such a young age. And the lady they're talking to says, "Oh, that's wonderful. You have great parents." And it says, "Yeah, my son, my little brother is only a few years old, and they started him at 18 months. Isn't that great?" And the lady's like, "Yes, that's so wonderful,
Oh,
you know."
wow.
And then again saying, "Yes, we are Cole Allen," and saying stuff like, you know, they also had a sign something like, "At this point, I'd rather have Hitler than Trump," or something like that, and have people say, "Yeah, we know. You think about it, Trump's worse because he's more global in his outreach than you know, where Hitler was more just, you know, in Europe and everything." And yeah, and so when they get found out, they're talking about all these things people said, and the lady's like, "Nope, never happened, never happened." What's on video? I mean,
Yeah.
except you have that part.
Well,
But it's
that's
just hilarious watching them just saying these horrible things, you know.
Well, what about the James O'Keefe, the old Project Veritas guy? He keeps on busting these people, these weasel government super weasels, just to sit at a table with a pretty girl or a pretty guy. It doesn't seem to matter with them. They will vomit up their guts. They will reveal state secrets. They will confess to crimes. And you're like, what are these people do?
Camp we're gonna do. We're gonna them, you know.
Hey, LBJ. Oh, that's a different one. Never mind.
Yeah, exactly. So at one point, there's a black lady on a megaphone talking, and all these people around, you know, listening to her chants and everything. And so she stops. And I mean, right away, so you're racist? Well, yeah, of course. If you don't like what she's saying, you mean you're racist, and that's without saying. So so all of a sudden, this white guy comes over to her and says, "Hey, don't engage. He's just trying to get a reason out of you." And the guy's like, "Hey, so how's it feel having a white man tell you what to do? You know, like he's being called a racist. But there's a racist telling her what to do.
Wow.
So it's okay when they do it. But yeah, just all these videos are just so funny watching when they infiltrate and show the absurdity. Another great one is this girl up in Massachusetts. I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, but she's great. She goes in all these rallies and she's got all her Trump stuff on and everything. And apparently there's some like Air Force base that's being used as an ICE facility, whatever. And so they're always, you know, the Q-tip parade is up there protesting that, and she's out there, you know, mocking them and everything. But no, just the absurdity of all this stuff, Dean. You know, it feels like when Trump's in office, the adults are finally in charge. It just feels better.
No, I mean, it feels like what we did this huge military operation, and the 13 Americans died. Heck, that's one day in Biden world, and that's not to make it to shrink it. You know, these were real Americans in real positions. But and here's the butt monkey in these, just spinning up all these boats and all these aircraft and all these things. Just spinning them up is dangerous. So to move them halfway across the world and engage in all these thousands and thousands of missions, we're very, very fortunate, and our people are very well trained not to end up dead.
You know, change subject a little bit. I want to say it was Wayne. Context was, you know, we have a president that runs for 4 years. At best, you can do 8. Of course, Trump's already gotten 12, and maybe he'll get 12, 4 more. But you know, I've always thought like it kind of sucks that, you know, Trump comes in, at best he could do is 4 years to make things right. But the way Wayne framed it was even better. He talked about these other countries have leaders for life. So when they see someone like a Trump come in, they go, "Yeah, this is really going to suck for us right now, but all we got to do is wait them out because depend on those three, and it's eventually there'll be another Biden."
All right, hold on, David. We're going to take a quick break. Be right back with you, and then we've got somebody else that we're going to have to get into the next segment. Also, 803-799-8255, 799 Talk, Groucho's Deli,
Hey,
in studio
the Cigar
hotline.
Militia. Charles Spurgeon once said, "I intend to smoke a good cigar to the glory of God before I go to bed tonight." Needless to say, we didn't intend for Charles to be a great spokesman for our favorite pastime of glorifying God while smoking a cigar, but thank you, Pastor Spurgeon. At the Cigar Militia, we used to call our regulars our customers. Now we call them our friends. That's the cigar culture. If you know, you know. The Cigar Militia, 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard.
What's better than getting the best Wagyu and Hereford beef anywhere in these parts and getting it delivered to your door? How about knowing you're still supporting local farmers in Saluda over at H&J Cattle, where tradition meets quality? Visit HandJCattle.com. Place your order for $50 or more, get free delivery in Richland or Lexington County. Plus, Point listeners get 10% off your order. Enter keyword "the point" as one word for your discount. HandJCattle.com.
People hear me talking about Broker Solar and how much I like Ken and his team. They ask, hey, can I really trust this guy, Kev? Let me tell you two things. Number one, Ken and Broker Solar are legit. I've known Ken's family for 20 plus years. Seriously, these are local, ethical people. They're not going anywhere and they do things the right way. Number two, Broker Solar is so different than these stereotypes we've heard about in the solar industry. There's no signs on the yard making stupid promises they can't keep. There's no door knockers trying to pressure you at your own door. Ken and Broker Solar will tell you the truth, what it'll cost, and how your solar power investment will pay off. See, we can't pick our power companies. Broker Solar gives you a chance to take some control over your power bill, and I like that, and so should you. Online, it's brokersolar.com, and seriously, reach out to Ken and these folks. It could really make a difference in your quality of life. Brokersolar.com, empowering you so you're not powerless.
They lied to you about masks. They lied to you about surfaces. They lied to you about the Wuhan lab. They lied to you about the wet market. They lied to you about restaurants. They lied to you about bars. They lied to you about small businesses. They lied to you about the risks. They lied to you about kids in schools. They lied to you about hydrochloroquine. They lied to you about ivermectin. They lied to you about vitamin D. They lied to you about zinc. They lied to you about therapeutics. They lied to you about the very definition of a vaccine. They lied to you about side effects. They lied to you about safety testing. They lied to you about FDA approval. They lied to you about the American taxpayer funding the development of the virus. They screamed, "Trust the science," as they were denying it. They screamed, "Do your part," as they stole your liberty. They screamed, "This is the only way," as they stripped your rights away. Never, never, never trust them about anything of consequence again. Never.
All right, I'm so glad that I had that made a while back, and it's almost like everything old is new again.
Exactly. I thought of, speaking of funny clips and videos I see, one had all these ladies like in lockstep, kind of prancing around like on the street, like running forward, but it's kind of odd, almost like a dance class run thing. And it said liberal women on their way to.
I posted on socialist media earlier this week that wow, all it takes is redistricting to cure the hantavirus, the orthohantavirus. That's the actual name of it. Have you noticed they never tell us the names of things? Oh, it's polio.
Right.
Well, it's actually poliomyelitis. Why don't you say the disease name? We're big people. We can do it.
Yeah. But, and thinking of that real quick on the redistricting thing, and I heard Tim Massey call in Kevin's show one day, and he made the claim that, there's no district, designated for Jim Clyburn. And Dean, if you look at Jim Clyburn's district and how wonky it is, I told Kevin, I said, the proof that what Shane said is false is going to be when, not if, but when South Carolina gets yet another district, because we're growing, and you'll see just the most bizarre looking, because it's extremely wonky. Wait till you see what Jim Clyburn's district looks like after that. It's going to be so just obvious, like, okay, we got to get him into an 80-20 position. And thinking about an 80-20 position is nobody wins in that, because when I was, unfortunately, I escaped, but when I was stuck in occupied 6th district, and there was no chance that Jim Clyburn was going to do anything for me, because I wasn't going to vote for him, and it didn't matter, right? But also on the other side, he doesn't have to do anything for his voters, because it doesn't matter if he pisses off a few here and there, because he's got an 80-20 margin.
Yeah, who
For
you going to
him,
vote for?
a
Yeah, good
sweaty
luck with that.
gal-
Yeah, who you're going to?
Yeah.
You're not going to. Oh, you're not
Yeah.
going to vote for me? Oh, good luck with that. Good luck with
Right.
that.
If he sweats out, if he sweats out an election, it's because he maybe is at 73-27. You know, that's for him. That's a close call. So in a district like that, and I don't know what the proper score for it would be because it goes on both sides as far as a lot of districts. That
Oh,
are
you ready? You
beyond a
ready?
50, 45.
You ready for me to give you the answer?
Mhm.
Remove racial data from every South Carolina government form. Remove racial data from the South Carolina driving list thing. Remove racial from all these things, from state government job applications. The only thing that information can be used to do is to discriminate against you, meaning the applicant. People
And I made a point that I wish I had time to sit there and look and see of the 435, how many are Clyburn and Wilson type districts where it's not in play? Like how many maybe are like between a 55-45 type margin, but in the ones that are beyond that, there is no reason for that person to do anything for anybody. So it's almost like having no competition. When it's exactly what it is. In fact, Clyburn won't ever debate his challengers. I know Duke Buckner has tried a few times. Jim Clyburn won't do it because he has nothing to gain.
Right.
And only thing he do is maybe say something more stupid and lose something on it. But he has no need to debate his challenger because he knows he's got it wrapped up for life, and then he will decide who's going to be the next.
Yeah,
person after him.
his daughter,
And
right?
this
Is
is
it trying to pick
now.
his daughter? Yeah. So yeah, it's
Probably-
crazy.
Maybe when it falls asleep, you know.
And I have this thing, and I call it the Janet Jackson principle. And I'm trying to get more and more people to, I want your vote to be for sale, not for cash. But let's say that you make an appeal to your Congress critter. I want you to say, hey, Congress critter, I've been supporting you, or you've been, you have Floyd Spence's old seat, and he did a lot of good stuff for us. And well, what have you done for me? Just like Janet Jackson lately.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
stuff that happened before I was born. Oh, that doesn't count anymore. You got to at least do something in my lifetime. At least one thing in my lifetime.
Yeah, and I made this point before, Gene. The most recent example of something like this is Trinity Zones. That was a Tim Scott thing, and Clyburn opposed them. Yet they're doing great things for people of color in his district, and all they're going to think is, well, Jim Clyburn's my district, my representative, and wow, this is a great program. He must have had something to do with it. Yeah, he probably helped
the enemy.
Not knowing. They don't connect the dots, and Jim knows they're not going to connect the dots and say, actually tried to hurt, keep that from happening.
Yeah.
But they don't care. They're going to vote for him no matter what he knows of it,
Oh, well, we need to have politicians. Maybe Tim Scott needs to, when there's some threshold of greatness made, he could say, hey, look, we did this. I was in it. Senator Graham was in it. All of our congressional delegation, except for the one opposition person, except for the one. So we have planted a tree. We've gotten it to the point of fruiting, and the guy across the way is trying to poison this plant. Hey, David, let me go, but you're welcome, of course, in the next hour. And we're going to jump right here to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Gene, the dancing machine.
Conspiracy Charlie. We'll have to think about something better for you than that. But Conspiracy Charlie is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, well, I'm full of them. Just ask Tim.
Well, he might be full of them too. He might be full of them too.
Well, you ask him a question. Who would you have put on the plane? And really, I think that Tim should have went on the plane. I mean, he could have represented the little man.
Yeah,
and he would have been a hoot. He would have been a hoot playing canasta with. And it would be awesome.
Oh, I got a new one on the litany of ballroom, reflecting pool, all this stuff. We got to add snorkel. Can you believe the snorkel? I've got a friend of mine who's that went to high school together, and he's a really good guy, but he's in Kansas City, Missouri. He was a television reporter, and he's free.
Okay.
And he was a I think he was an Air Force guy. He's an Air Force or Navy, leaning towards the Air Force. But he was all freaking out about the snorkel gate, and I just posted a question in that they said it was a special VIP experience. Who's some of the other people that have done it? And this guy's a reporter guy. He's a real. I mean, he's on television. You know, he's a pretty reporter guy. He's on television, and so who else did this? And you're going to find out it's going to be the son of a Congress critter or something like. You know, it's going to be stuff.
Oh yeah. Uh,
Yeah, evidently,
that's the evil one.
Yeah,
That's
evidently, if you are a Chinese, a high-ranking Communist Party member, you can basically pick out your kidney.
Yes.
Yeah, this guy's these four people are a type and match for your kidney thing.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to put a bullet in their head? We'll do it at the hospital.
And they've been eating very healthy.
Yeah, we've been fattening them up. I mean, we've been feeding them. You know, that's the Norks, the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea. They've got one fat guy in the country. They've got one fat guy in the country. You know.
Oh my God. I remember as a kid.
Yeah, and they're 5 inches shorter than and it's true. It's an artificial line. They're 5 inches shorter than their cousins in South Korea.
Yeah.
And it's all nutrition. And they have this thing. I mean, it's so bad. How bad is it? It's so bad that North Korean defectors will defect to China so that they can make some money so that their relatives in the North Korea can eat. That's how bad it is. All right, well, hold on, Charlie. We've got somebody else on deck, but we'll be back with Charlie first segment of the next hour, and then we'll fill in the rest of the hour. 803-799-8255-799-TALK. Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline.
Accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. That light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right butt. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, and fireplaces. Spring sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Thousands descended upon the National Mall today for Rededicate 250, a national jubilee of prayer, praise, and thanksgiving, a gathering aimed at celebrating 250 years of independence, as well as calling believers across America to unite in worship, repentance, prayer, and gratitude. Among those praying for America during the event was House Speaker Mike Johnson.
Almighty God, we ask that you hear these solemn petitions. Just as we in the beginning dedicated this land to your most holy name, today, here, Lord, in this 250th year of American independence, we hereby rededicate the United States of America as one nation under God.
Others who spoke included Vice President J.D. Vance and President Trump via video. Ukraine conducts large-scale drone strikes on Russia, killing 4 and wounding a dozen others. Correspondent Julie Walker reports.
Weekend, one of Ukraine's largest drone strikes on Russia killed at least 4 people, including 3 near Moscow, and wounded a dozen others, according to local authorities. Debris also fell on Russia's largest airport without causing damage.
Сьогодні дуже масштабно Сили оборони України.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky saying his country was entirely justified. Russia has repeatedly launched similar attacks on Ukraine's capital and other cities during the war. Ukrainian authorities saying Russian drone strikes over the weekend wounded 8 people. I'm Julie Walker.
The mayor of Austin, Texas, says suspects are being sought in at least 10 random weekend shootings in Austin, Texas, including at fire stations that left 4 people injured. More on these stories available at townhall.com.
Larry Elder here. You know, I think a lot of people just accept pain like this is just how it is now. I don't think that has to be true. Let me tell you about George. He's up in Oregon, works 10-hour days, driving a garbage truck in and out all day. It really did a number on his knee. He said it got so bad he couldn't even bend it. Now think about that. Trying to work, take care of your family, and your body just isn't cooperating. Well, George tried Relief Factor, and this is what got me. He said, I can bend my knee again with very little pain. Simple, but when you get something like that back, it matters. My brother Kirk had difficulty going up and down the stairs in the morning until he followed my advice. After about a week, he calls and says, this stuff is working. If you're dealing with aches and pains, see if Relief Factor works for you. It's drug-free with a 3-week quick start for just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF. You don't have to just accept living with pain.
New York lawmakers are moving closer to changes in the state's public pension system for newer government workers.
Spotlight is on Tier 6, covering public employees hired since 2012. It was created to cut costs by raising the retirement age, increasing worker contributions, and trimming benefits. Now, lawmakers and unions want changes, lowering retirement age, boosting payouts, and reducing contributions. Supporters say it aids hiring, but critics warn it would be unfair to employees expected to find benefits, cost billions, and strain tight budgets.
That's correspondent John Scott reporting. Lawmakers are still negotiating and no final deal has been approved. Meanwhile, the Long Island Railroad strike has continued into its second day with no end in sight. News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters. The man who took over from legendary investor Warren Buffett at Berkshire Hathaway is making his mark on that firm.
Berkshire Hathaway has more than tripled the size of its investment in Google's parent company as Greg Abel settled into the CEO job after taking over at the start of the year. Buffett was always reluctant to invest in tech firms because he said he didn't understand them well enough. Buffett did make an exception to that rule near the end of his CEO term by buying a massive Apple stake. But Abel appears to be more comfortable because by the end of March, Berkshire owned nearly 58 million Alphabet shares worth almost $17 billion. Rich Thomason reporting.
The artificial intelligence boom is leading to fights in some states over growing utility profits. Governors, attorneys general, and others are protesting rising electricity bills and say cash-strapped residents are stuck. More at Town Hall.
Hi, this is Kevin Cohen. I'm the owner, the general manager here at The Point. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned is to partner with great people. To that end, I'm looking to partner in the upcoming months with like-minded business owners, people who want to grow their respective businesses. Would you consider meeting with me in the very near future to discuss how The Point can partner with you so that you can exceed your own expectations in the coming year? Let's sit down over a glass of tea, a cup of coffee. Let's talk about how your business and my business can work together to meet our collective goals. I'm not looking simply for advertisers. I can find them by simply cold calling people a few times a week. What I'm looking for are business partners who share the vision that I have for my own small business. That vision is very simple. Local businesses need to support local businesses, period. If you have an interest in telling people about your business via the radio, let's make it happen affordably and local. Call me directly, 563-8558, 563-8558. I'd appreciate the chance to meet with you. Maybe we can help each other.
Sainted Patrick McGowan, a good Irish American. Bring us into the new hour with our friend Charlie. Thanks for holding on there, Conspiracy Charlie.
Hey, no problem. No problem at all. No, let me clear something out about Mr. Wonderful.
Uh-huh.
Not only is he a Canadian citizen and holds a Canadian passport, but he's also a citizen of the UAE and Ireland.
Ooh, all right. That's sort of a wild. Talk about the part.
You got to throw that conspiracy out.
Well, you know that people with multiple masters can never be trusted, so we might have to put a Kevy in a different category. But so far, the thing.
I wonder if he's Farsi.
Probably not. I'm going to make a guess. Probably not.
Well, he can.
You know, sometimes it's just about the benefits, and there are places. I mean, there's a major shoe manufacturer that has a division in Belize, and Belize requires like a 2% annual corporate income tax. And so what they do is the American company has to pay like a 90-something% licensing fee to the Belizean company. Belizean company reports their income. They pay 2% to corporate tax, and then it's all clean. So they're different. They're different places that you know.
What deal with him? Why would he be bringing hot spark to China? How many big juicy steaks have you ever ordered at a Chinese restaurant?
That's well. One of my problems about a sort of a Mexican Chinese food is that no piece of meat is big enough to rule out an animal. So, like if you get an 8-ounce steak, and that's a little steak in my thing, but if you got an 8-ounce steak, you go, okay, so that is a muscle of an animal, and this is a cross section. So we know at least this animal has one muscle that's this big, and so you know, well, that ain't a cat, and that ain't a rat, and that ain't a dog, and that you just but the
and if it's shredded beef, you're screwed.
Yeah, you don't have anything. Yeah, that's. Yeah. Yeah. Well, how about this? Well, I will agree with Tim on one thing. Instead of Mr. Wonderful and Elon and Tim Cook and Zuckerberg and all those folks, instead of those people, we should have sent over the leaders, that Weingarten lady for the American Federation of Teachers, and we should have got the United States. Let's see, who would they be? the United States Association of HR Nazis. We should have sent those people, and that's what we should have done. We should have exported the communist things that have been imposed on the American people. We should give it back to our Chinese friends. But efficiency is a problem. You need to be less efficient. You need some management.
Yeah.
Now that's one of the greatest things if you tell a joke at work to one of your buddies and it's so funny that HR wants to hear about it. Well, here's the crazy thing. So have you noticed
what's going on?
Have you noticed, like, the coffers of the chief executive? I think Trump's campaign group has more than $500 million in cash on hand.
Right.
Once we shut down USAID, all these state Democrat actors are squealing for money. What happened? No, I'm serious. State by state, you're hearing all these problems. They don't have any money all of a sudden.
I could tell you stories about USAID. When I was in India, we had an American Embassy compound, which had what they call which is the American Community Support Association.
Okay.
And it had it was a bowl field.
Yeah, they have a ballroom.
There was also a lot of people that worked for USAID. And guess what? USAID had their own private compound. But here's the interesting. Place it was like a high-rise apartment complex. Okay. Pool. It had a bowling alley. It had a 4-lane bowling alley in the basement. It had a swimming pool. It had a bar.
Wow. Let's see. Fungible local currency.
That's right. They went by the local currency. Now, if you went into the commissary, that was paid in U.S. dollars. But, that was a whole different thing. But here's the thing about the USAID building complex. Where everything was hit.
So, like company store money, like Olympia Mills money type of thing,
like Monopoly money.
Wow.
And come in.
Yeah. Sort of like going to Disney World in the 70s where A, B, C, D, and E tickets. That's what. Now, was this USAID? Did it have a fancy name like the George H.W. Bush USAID Center? All right, hold on, Charlie. We'll bring you back in just a second. America's Radio Show, Gene Garris, 803-799-8255, 799-TALK, Groucho's Deli, in-studio hotline.
Groucho's Deli is the Midland's most loved, historic, and awarded deli and has been for decades, serving trademark subs like the STP Dipper with melty Swiss over roast beef, turkey, and bacon bits on a soft sub roll and served with Groucho's famous 45 sauce. Come to any of our 8 Midlands locations and see for yourself or pick up with fast, convenient, and friendly service at Grouchos.com or on the Grouchos app and sign up for the Groucho's Rewards and Birthday Brownie Club.
At Palmetto State Armory, we offer the largest selection of guns and ammunition at unbeatable prices. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff are here to provide personalized assistance, ensuring you find exactly what you need. If you enjoy outdoor activities like hunting, camping, or hiking, our clothing and outdoor gear collection has got you covered. We also feature an exceptional indoor range facility where you can experience the thrill of shooting in a safe and controlled environment. Visit us today at PalmettoStateArmory.com or your local retail store. Palmetto State Armory, American made for life.
Hi, y'all. This is Sal from Grow Your Garden with Sal. Let's get your garden started. Now is the time. We've got locally grown South Carolina certified plants grown organically right here in Columbia at a great price. Check out our selection of veggie plants, including hard to find tomatoes, peppers, squash, zucchini, and more. We have all your seeds too, and quality soil to help you get it started. We're at 113 Hilltop Drive in Columbia, and visit growyourgardenwithal.com.
Hey all, this is Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We'd like to invite you and your family to dine with us. We have a great menu that's sure to please your whole family. We have fresh cooked burgers, big juicy wings, blue plate menu featuring country cooking, oven baked hoagies, fresh crisp salads, authentic Greek food like gyros, souvlaki, and baklava. We also carry 20 different premium cheesecakes and pies. Flight Deck Restaurant also has an arcade with 30 different games like Star Wars, Batman, Skee Ball, Bass Wheel, Pac-Man, Galaga, and so much more. Flight Deck, your favorite family restaurant. Thanks y'all and God bless.
Some flashing back. Well, that's wild. Just having some flashing back thing. Todd Snyder saw him first at Smith's Old Bar in the great city of Atlanta. People that, gosh, 26 years ago, I had a practice in Atlanta and it was lots of fun. But I had the best smelling office in the whole city because from my front door to their front door was about 50 feet. Fat Matt's Rib Shack. And if it had been cheaper, back at, again, 26 years ago, it was still like $17 for lunch. But if it had been $5, I would have eaten there every day. Thanks for holding on there, Conspiracy Charlie.
Oh, that's not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. I wanted to talk about the shot.
Okay, let's talk about the shot. That shot in the dark.
That shot that they made everybody. They made some people.
That clot shot.
Not all of us succumbed.
That's right.
But here's the thing about the shot. First of all, I'm going to tell you, and I'm not a physician. I'm a chemist, but I'm not a physician.
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell you that it didn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work at all.
Well, how about this?
Even
if it did sort of work, it never lived up to the promise.
Well, yeah. Besides the promise, I mean, I want to talk to the people who said, "Well, I got."
Yeah.
Because here's my rationale with the stuff with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Some people got COVID and didn't even know it.
Right. No, most
Some people-
most young people, that's the thing. Oh, well, you have antibodies. Oh, so you've
Right.
already fought it and beat it. Did you know you were sick at any point in the last year? No, nothing.
Some people got COVID and, lost their taste and smell and maybe had a little bit of
And look at Katy Perry. She got it and lost her taste in men.
then there's some and then there's people that got it, a nasty cold. And then there's some people got it and it was like it was like the biggest flu in the world. And then there were people, and these were people that didn't get the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Now the people get the shot. And some people may get it and don't get it at all. Some may get it a little bit and lose their taste and smell. So there was no way of gauging who it helped, because the probability was out there that anybody could possibly not have any, have any reaction at all to COVID, and some may have it, and even if they got the shot, they still got it then. So what did the shot do?
Was a big mass psychosis adventure. COVID as a disease had been in the United States since September, I think, of 2019. I came back from the SHOT Show in Las Vegas in January of 2020. And I got really sick.
Right.
I was a first wave COVID before it had a name for us. It wasn't until March that we put a name on it. But yeah, I thought at one point I'm like, is this what life is? Is this what it's like before you die? And my wife is like, are you, because I could, whatever the bare minimum was, like I could get my kids to school, I could get up, get dressed, get my kids to school, see some people, come home at lunch for a little bit, and then go back to the office and do stuff. And then, but I was wiped out every evening. And at one point my wife goes, are you even a parent anymore? Because I went to collapse to sleep on a Friday and didn't wake up till Sunday.
What?
And then one night I woke up in the middle of the night, and it was as if somebody had poured body temperature water all over me, like soaked my clothes with stuff. And 2 days later, I was 100%. That was when the fever broke. But I only had this very low fever and very low persistent fever with no identifiable origin makes me scream stuff like, oh, that's cancer. That's how cancer presents. And I had a buddy of mine that died of leukemia, and I'm laying there in the bed and I'm going, is this what it's like? Is this what the end is like? I just don't have any, it's like I'm not alive. But yeah, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
Yeah. The mask thing bothered me a lot because, I know a little bit about particle size.
Yeah, and you've used a colander before. It's 30,000 times smaller than a smoke particle.
Well,
close to that.
Here's a more scientific end. It runs between about 60 and 75 picometers. So a picometer is a tenth of a micron.
Yeah.
Okay. And to think that people with the cloth mask. I mean,
the T-shirt mask. That was
to the light.
Yeah, that was just a compliance symbol.
Oh yeah, yes, that was get in line and shut up.
That's right, and they can tell. Again, even Tony Fauci, the 6 feet, the socialist distancing, he pulled it out of his butt. In England, it was 2 meters. Oh, that's almost 6 feet, or.
But the thing is, if you remember back in the early part of 2020, I guess it was around March, And he had made a statement and said, "Nah, you don't need to wear a mask. There's no need to wear a mask." And then all of a sudden, the mask thing came out.
And then he came out later and said, "Oh, I just didn't want hoarding by the mass to keep healthcare workers from getting it." Okay,
he wanted to make
that's
sure he wanted to make sure he invested in the right mask company first. But you know, it was everything was sitting down everywhere, and it was kind of silly. So I went down to Florida to see my kids, and I brought the little car, and I was down there, and we went to a restaurant. There was no big deal, you know. We went to a restaurant and everything, and my daughter rode with me, and you know, no big deal. And then I came home, and you know, a couple days later, after I came home, and my daughter called me, and she said, "Nah." Later, I lost all my taste and smell, and I'm talking science. I sprayed some cologne from my it up to my face. I kid you
couldn't
not.
smell it. Yeah,
Nothing.
that's
Nothing.
yeah.
It
Well,
was the
well,
weirdest thing I ever went to, and it's a long time to come back.
yeah. Well, here's a
But I
crazy
didn't
thing.
have no other symptoms.
I have an acquaintance of mine who's an anesthesiologist, and we're talking about these issues. And some of his anesthesiology friends set up testing centers. You know, the defunct strip malls and where the old Walmart used to be, those type of things. They set up tents. The test cost $5 to purchase and administer, plus whatever labor thing. The federal government reimbursed $100. We're in the wrong business.
I could only imagine. I could only imagine.
So yeah, but that's you know, you put profit in there. Oh, we'll give you $35,000 extra.
Well, that's
on
what's
top.
going on with all. That's what's going on with all these NGOs. I mean, NGO is turned into the evil word because
They are
they're
actually
just-
evil. That's why they always were.
They're evil. The people that run them are making, you know, 7-figure salaries.
Yeah, that's one of the
and,
things.
and
like
the money's
the
just disappearing.
like even though Elizabeth Dole was head of the American Red Cross at one point, you compare the American Red Cross to Salvation Army. I think the head of the Salvation Army makes like $14,000 a year.
Well, I actually read one time one of the heads of the Salvation Army took nothing.
Yeah, because he didn't need it.
Took nothing. So,
And I think maybe even American politicians should have all the clothes they can wear, all the food they can eat, and no cash. That's the deal.
Yeah.
This is your vow of poverty. You just don't get any cash.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of very, very high profile charities out there, cancer charities like this.
Yeah, and then like in South Carolina, we have a law called the Solicitation of Charitable Funds Act, and these people have to file financials, and all the bad actors, you know, less than 1% of what they collected end up as program services. The rest is to run the boiling room or to pay the consultants.
Oh boy, yeah. That's another key word. Consultants.
Yeah,
there's consultants involved. There's fraud.
right. And a consultant is just somebody that's from 50 miles away and has a briefcase.
Right. Has a briefcase and a slideshow.
Yeah, that's right. PowerPoint on a thumb drive. Doesn't even have a laptop. He'll
No.
use your laptop. All right, come on, Charlie. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. We had a caller drop off. Call back. We'll get you on in this next little bit. It's the bottom of the hour. I'm Gene Garris. This is America's Radio Show.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF. Grills, outdoor kitchens, and fireplaces. Spring Sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Officials in Austin, Texas say 2 people are in custody and a third suspect is being sought in at least 10 random shootings that left 4 people hurt in the city over the weekend. Authorities ordered residents of a large part of southern Austin to shelter in place on Sunday while the investigation continued. They lifted the order Sunday afternoon. Austin Mayor Kirk Watson says the shootings appeared to be random. Officials say all 4 crew members ejected safely after 2 Navy jets collided and crashed during an air show at a military base in Iowa. Thousands of people stretched onto the National Mall in Washington for a day-long prayer rally. The event was billed as a rededication of our country as one nation under God. More details available at srnnews.com.
Hey, it's Jay with the Cigar Militia. When I stop by a cigar store, I always look for my go-to cigars and stock up a few of those, but I also look for something I've never tried before. Well, at the Cigar Militia, we specialize in a lot of small boutique cigar manufacturers. Come in and try a Don Kiki by Karen Berger or a Makaji by Ty Williams. We are the Cigar Militia at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard. Help us out, stock up, and review some of our boutique brands.
At Team One Sudduth Automotive on Millwood Avenue, we make caring for your car effortless, day or night. Enjoy our easy drop-off even after business hours. From oil changes to full engine overhauls, our certified technicians handle it all the right way with a 2-year, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty. Plus, it's easy to book an appointment. Go online right now, team1automotive.com. You can pick the time that fits your schedule best. Team One Sudduth Automotive, where reliable, transparent service meets your convenience.
Back with our friend Charlie, and we're going to let Charlie wrap up, and then we're going to jump to yet another high-quality caller.
Hey. Well, I think I don't know what this whole thing going on there with Iran is. It's getting kind of weird now. It's like, okay, so what is their that they're holding? I don't get it.
Well, I think they're.
Doesn't it seem like they're holding tips?
Well, so there's a thing like us in the West. Think of it as an Islamic state run by mullahs or ayatollahs. But the truth of the matter is it's a military junta that runs the country, and the mullahs are the ones, or the ayatollahs are the ones that give legitimacy to that.
Right.
And so,
like what the Pope used to do.
Right. So we will we're this weird position, I don't want. I would be very happy if no further Iranian citizen died in this thing.
I don't want to see anybody dying.
And I don't even want to take out their critical civilian infrastructure with power plants and stuff. Now, if you said, hey, just like here in South Carolina at some rural power co-op, they've got a production facility and then they have a distribution thing. If you say, all right, we're going to bomb this substation, electronic transfer substation,
right?
Which we can rebuild get most of it online in a week and completely restore it in a month.
Right.
I'm cool with that, but I don't want to blow up a natural gas or oil-fired generation plant.
Well, you know what they're doing right now. They're out of storage space.
Right.
They're pumping the oil into the water now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I heard that the other day. Yeah, they're pumping the oil into the water now, and they're worried about that too. The only reason why you would do that is to know if they pump it.
That could be the end of that well.
Not impossible, but it's very iffy.
Well,
that they
it
would
might
ever
find
get it
another
back.
fissure. It might find another location.
Right.
It might drain away from the primary field. It might, who knows? That's a
Yeah, it might
business.
start percolating up in the UAE.
Well, that's a command economy. And they say, hey, I'm the big boss. This is what it's going to be. I mean, gosh, for many years, even during the Gulf Wars, gasoline in Saudi Arabia was a quarter or 18 cents or something. Just crazy, crazy.
Yeah, well, you know what? You want to know something, Gene?
Uh-huh.
And I'll close with this. I remember as a kid when gas was like 27 cents a gallon, 30 cents a gallon.
Uh-huh. Oh.
And the good stuff was 75 cents a gallon.
Wow. So I learned to drive in the 80s. So gas was, almost always less than $1. And we still complained about it then.
Yeah. Kidding me?
Still complained about it then. Oh, it's too expensive. When I was your age, it was 13 cents.
Cars really drank.
Oh, I had a 72
carburetor.
I had a 72 Camaro with a 383 cubic inch engine in it, and it had two Holley carburetors on it. And it was
383 in a VM vehicle?
Yeah, because it started out as a 350 and we had a catastrophic engine failure. And my dad had it bored out, and it was so hot that it changed the color of the paint on the hood. But it got 9 miles to the gallon, and it had this this loping cam, and it was like look, and it would do things like it would pull you out to an intersection and cut off and not start up. But man, it was fast. It was motorcycle fast, and
because I was in the age when the police vehicle with
that is the deal with coffee. It takes money to extract the caffeine from the coffee bean so that you don't have caffeinated coffee. And caffeine is a wonder drug in my opinion. But I used to have a Park Avenue Ultra that had a 3.6 or 3.8 liter supercharged engine. Man, that was a great car. But it required premium, but I rarely ran premium.
Yeah.
Excellent. That is most excellent. But yeah, Charlie, I was waiting to switch to another caller, but that person dropped off. So it's a free for all for the next little bit.
What we're talking. They used to say, what was it, the Fantastic Four?
Well, I think the benefit of this trip to our Chinese friends is that evidently Trump has some guarantees or commitments that we're going to be able to work together to get oil flowing, drain some of those pools in Iran.
Yeah.
So, but that's where we are.
Yeah. You know
And,
what?
and even if they don't do anything, if Trump is able to say, "Hey, look, our Chinese friends are with us on this. You need to do this. This is where we're This is where we're going." Me
Right.
and she have already discussed. This is a reasonable thing, acceptable to us. So this is where we need to go. There's nobody going to bail you out.
Yeah.
People there are anymore. Yeah, we don't even know how many people they have anymore. They've been lying about their population for years and years.
Yeah.
So
Well, maybe no go. There's no way.
The problem is that the Chinese position aligns with the U.S. position. And even though we would like it to be different than it is, we have already committed to the Taiwan one China policy. So because in Nixonian era things, it was reasonable. This is it is. But this is what I'm willing to do. If it cost a $500 billion, I'm willing to carve a big hunk of. I'd like it to be in South Carolina, but I'm willing to carve a big hunk out of Oklahoma or something like that. One of the states that doesn't have a natural barrier, one of the western states, and let's create Processor Town, USA, and let's pick up the people. Let's take all the human intelligence and fly them to a conference in Las Vegas and say, "Hey, you never have to go back."
Yeah. Well, no, I get, and what kind of administration was it?
Yeah. Oh, so we're going to give them our top-notch stuff for nothing.
Solar.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Omni Solar.
Solentra.
All this money that went out. And so and I've done this a million times. I jumped on a plane. I got got the address. I drive to this place. I drive to it. I get up to it. I look. It's this massive building. The glass front.
Mm-hmm.
Fire. There isn't a soul in it. Nobody. There's nobody in it. So I got a contact. I call the contact, and I'm like,
All right, Charlie, this is the end of this segment. I'm going to let you go. I got somebody on, and we'll bring that person on in just a moment. You're listening to America's Radio Show. I'm Gene Garris. Be right back.
If you've never had genuine Wagyu or Hereford steaks and burgers, you don't know what you're missing. Time to order the best of the best from HandJCattle.com. These are local farmers in Saluda where tradition meets quality. The best quality beef and a discount for Point listeners. Enter keyword The Point as one word and get 10% off, plus free delivery in Lexington and Richland County orders of $50 or more. It's cooked in season over at HandJCattle.com.
When storms hit the Midlands, who do you trust to keep your family safe and dry? Shingles Now, your local family-owned pros. Charlie and Rodney, both GAF Master Elite contractors, deliver honest, top-quality roof repairs and replacements. Licensed, insured, and proud to offer free inspections and estimates, we make protection stress-free and affordable. You can count on Shingles Now, the team that treats you like family. Shingles Now, roof repairs right away. Visit shinglesnow.com today.
Experience South Carolina's printing powerhouse. Professional Printers is your trusted partner, bringing over 30 years of expertise in print and graphics. From digital printing to web and sheet-fed solutions, we handle it all with a team of over 100 dedicated professionals. Locally owned and operated, we have 2 locations in the Midlands and serve our customers with pride, ensuring top-notch service and quality in every project. We do it all, including storage and promotional products. Visit proprinters.com and elevate your printing experience with us.
Memorial Day savings start now at Palmetto State Armory. Save on PSA rifle kits, firearms, ammo, optics, and more. Whether you're upgrading your current setup, starting a brand new build, or looking to stock up before summer, take advantage of the huge Memorial Day savings throughout the store. Like a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Plus for $369.99. Buy one, get one free on select fishing rods and more. Visit Saturday, May 23rd for on-site food trucks. Bring your family and make a day out of it. Memorial Day deals in May 26th. Visit your nearest Palmetto State Armory location today.
So we're coming back. I got a new caller. Hey, caller, how are you?
Dr. G.
Hey, what's going on, Snuffmeister?
Hey, man.
So if you're free on Wednesday, it looks like I'm doing the Fran Halloran show from 4 to 6 Wednesday.
Well, see,
Yeah, you should be free. Every day except Sunday should be Saturday.
so you
That is those things, and thank God that wasn't a catastrophic thing. I had a coming back from on 77. I took my car to the upper limits, and 77 was concrete with expansion joints, and it developed a harmonic in the suspension. And I knew if I touched the brakes, there was a chance that I would lose control of the car. So I just backed off and watched the speedometer drop slowly as the rebounding of the suspension stopped.
This was a lead sledge. I drove it back from one night. I used to climb TV towers, and I climbed the W.
Oh my goodness. And unfortunately, Snuffy, that happens for, I mean, gosh, look at Bear Bryant. He retired, and within a year he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
So purpose matters, and people say, well, why do you have all these children? Well, you got to have purpose on the backside, and that gives you lots of purpose.
I retired, but I ain't quit working because my daughter has a Daddy Canyon list, and my wife has a honeydew list. It would fill 27 volumes.
Stretch that list too quickly. Stretch it out.
In the background.
I thought you were at like a legislative meeting or something.
Nah.
Yeah, exactly. So have you ever seen the fainting goats?
Oh yeah,
That's
before.
yeah. That the people will scare them and they all just fall over. I think it's the funniest thing in the world.
Goats are just
So tell you what, well, goats probably have a happy life. They never have to go, hey, I wonder if I can eat that or not. If it'll fit in their mouth, they can eat it, right?
Well, in the mornings now, since
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Snuffy, would you ever consider renting out some goats? Like for exotic lawn care, total natural lawn care. You could just put them on a galvanized coated lead and let them just tear up people's yards.
you know, there's some outfits to do that for. It was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think they used to use they used to do goats, I think, at Fort Jackson on the firing ranges and stuff. Because a dud hit by a high-speed Toro might go pop.
Well, when I was a gunner stationed in Cape May on the
Funny. That's funny. I've heard them like tear up clotheslines and stuff like that.
got my wife planted it.
To the ground, like a bush dog got it. So I had friends of mine, and they had this exotic dog called a Beauceron, a very aggressive but pretty dog. And they had these ornamental cabbages growing in the yard, on purpose. The wife made a big effort to plant them. And so she's out in the yard with the dog, and the dog starts tearing up one of the cabbages. And so she's like kicking at the dog, trying to stop it. And then the dog latches onto her foot.
Oh, no.
So you got to watch out that it's better to let them have the cabbage.
You got to come out here to South.
Yeah,
See your farm
absolutely,
sometime.
absolutely. I've got about 1,000 things that I still need to get done before I can do stuff like that. But yeah, the world keeps on adding stuff to my list.
Well, doing a
Volumes, A to K and L to Z. But yeah, well, thanks so much, Snuffy. And daughter at Clemson Tiger Strong World University. Grant are doing good.
is in Oklahoma with Texas A&M and
Hey, so you were raised her well. So we're gonna make sure that Snuffy gets some credit for that. That's a
he's with a camera on a Nintendo stick. Darling, who's out there with you? She said, nobody else. You ain't scared to be out there in the woods by yourself? Oh, no.
Yeah, that's well, and that's that level of confidence is really great too. Thank you so much, Snuffy.
Thank you, buddy. And real quick, to win the Montana last year.
So I've been on Blood Mountain in Georgia during a storm, like a Fantasia Disney movie storm, and I could actually feel the hair on the back of my neck come up, and we went down off the side of the mountain to a safer place, and thank goodness nothing bad happened.
Well, I was on the Ford map, so to go to Dallas when the half map was hit by lightning.
Oh, wow.
It'll ring your bell.
All right, thank you so much, Snuffy. Gosh, they ended perfectly. I'm Gene Garris. Catch you on Wednesday on the afternoon drive.
Companies out there, few are truly local. Time to discover the difference with Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. See, when I faced plumbing woes